What's up, everybody? It's Friday, and you know what that means. It's Finish Strong Friday, so make sure you get after it today. Here we go. Let's go. What's up, everybody? Welcome to another episode of Standing Out, daily podcast about sales, marketing, and leadership. We already got some people in the comments. Sean, what's up, man? Thanks for joining us today. Happy Friday to you. It's Finish Strong Friday, bro. Make sure you get after it. Everybody out there, get after it with everything you got. Make it a great day. Hey, listen, we want to give a little shout out to our sponsor before we get started here today. So shout out to TAFS, the good guys in freight factoring. They're helping carriers, owner-operators keep those wheels turning with cash flow resources, discounts on insurance, tires, all kinds of great stuff. So make sure you check them out at TAFS.com, especially if you are behind the wheel of a truck. And if you are behind the wheel of a truck, thank you. Man, do we appreciate you. You are the heroes of the supply chain. Appreciate you so much. Thank you for all that you do, the sacrifices that you make to keep this economy going. Make sure you check out what they're doing at TAFS to help you guys out. Easiest way to do that is to click on the link in the comments today. That'll take you right to my landing page with TAFS. Make sure that they know I sent you. I need credit for this, people, so make sure that you do that and get started with them. Also, while you're surfing the web after the show, check us out at betaconsultinggroup.com. We'd love to help you tell your stories or tell your client stories with you in it as well. Move you out of the realm of obscurity into becoming a well-known brand. That's what we're all about doing. We'd love to work with you. And while you're there, as we've talked about earlier, you might as well pick up some swag. Pick up one of these Finish Strong Friday t-shirts and all the other great things we have, like water bottles and whatnot. It is October. It is spooky season. So make sure that you use coupon code SPOOKY, all caps, to get 20% off of your entire order. And we say thank you. Make sure you take a picture and some videos of that swag when you got it, because we would love to see you wearing the swag. We appreciate it. Remember, every time you see this swag, focus on being excellent today. That's all you got to do. And finally, before we bring our guests on the show today, last thing I want to remind you, we are 3 weeks away from the Iron Minds Tough Mudder Charity Challenge down in Dallas, Texas. Now listen, if you're watching from the Dallas area and you want to be a part of our team, it's not too late. All you got to do is go to toughmudder.com/events/Dallas, and you can sign up for the first mud at 8 a.m. We're going to do 9 miles and 30 obstacles. It's going to be great. We're going to raise some money for charity. It's going to be awesome. And I got to throw this in there. Chris Horton, my boy, it's playoff season. The Cardinals playing today, 1 o'clock Central. I don't care who you root for today. We're rooting for the Cardinals. That's right. Excellent. DJ, what's up? Good to see you in there as well. Great to see everybody on this Friday. It is a wonderful, wonderful day. All right, everybody. I'm super excited to bring on today's guest. I've known this guy for, a decade now. Crazy. One of my first customer interactions when I was a new enterprise sales rep at DAT. And it started a conversation and a friendship that has lasted for a long time. He's got a phenomenal business coming out of the Salt Lake area. Everybody give it up for my good friend from Freight Tech, the president and CEO, Steve Van Otten. Steve, what's up, man? How are you?
Hey, good morning, Trey. Good. How are you?
Man, I'm doing great. I'm so excited to have you on the show. It's taken a long time to get you on here, but I'm pumped to have the opportunity to chat today. And we got a lot to talk about. I mean, we got football to talk about. We got some other things. There might be a Larry Bird story in there that we got to get to later on today. But before we get to any of that, tell everybody a little bit about yourself and about Freight Tech. What are you guys doing?
Yeah, so I'm Steve Van Otten. I'm president and CEO of Freight Tech. We run an agency program. We have about 90 agents nationwide. It's the only thing we do. It's our full passion and dedication is all about our agents and serving them and just doing everything for them so that they can be as successful as they want to be.
Nice. And you're up to 90 agents now. Wow. Congratulations on the success. That is awesome. And I've heard that agents is kind of like wrangling small children sometimes. Is that true or false?
I don't know. That's kind of a loaded question. I'll say that we allow our agents to have a lot of independence, so they get to do a lot of things, and we just enjoy watching them grow. So
that's the right answer. That's the right answer. I kind of loaded one out there for you, but that is the right answer for sure. And you got a great team. I've had a chance to meet a lot of your agents, had a chance to meet your back office staff in the Salt Lake area, which is a beautiful place in the country. If nobody's been there, you got to go there and check it out. So talk a little bit about how this started. I know this was a family business, but at some point you decided to get involved with the family business and then eventually take over the family business. How did that all come about?
Yeah, so that's a great question. I used to be a stockbroker with a global stock brokerage company. In the early 2000s, there was some trouble in those markets.
Really?
And
What?
my father was the original, like he was running Freight Tech, and he had grown up from a one-man, store himself to about a dozen people. And he had talked to me and said, maybe you ought to leave the world of stock brokerage and come over to freight brokerage. And I was like, what is freight brokerage? I knew he was working in it. I didn't really know what it was. So he told me about it, and eventually I decided to make the leap. And I said, you know what? I think I'm going to go for it. So all my stock brokerage friends were like, hey, if this trucking thing doesn't work out, just come on back, and left on good terms with them, but came over here in '02. Yeah, because I've been here now 20 years. I can't believe that. And never looked back. Love the industry.
Clearly it's worked out. Clearly it has worked out for
me. It's worked out phenomenal. Eventually my father retired, and we bought him out about 4 years ago. And so my sister, brother-in-law, and I own and run the company now, and it's just been phenomenal.
Nice. That's awesome. Now you have a freight brokerage. Now some freight brokers are more in-house freight brokerages. Some are agent only, and some have a hybrid model of that, maybe an in-house plus agents. What was it for you guys that said the agent model is how we want to go, and that's been a good fit for you? What was it that led you down that path?
Yeah, that's a great question. I think we thought that it would be ideal for agents if they knew that we were 100% focused on them. We also felt like we could do the best job possible if we were focused on them. Sometimes when you're running a lot of different companies or different divisions, it dilutes focus for us. So we thought we really want to focus in, and we want to be 100% all in, agents only. And we think if we do that, we'll run the best program. And I think, arguably we've been a top program in the industry, if not the top. And we've attracted amazing talent, and we have incredible people, top to bottom, in this organization, and amazing agents.
Yeah, and clearly there's something to be said about that. I want to talk about this more on a personal development level, but clearly it works for business. And you said, not having divided loyalties, not having kind of split focuses, being able to focus on one thing and getting really good at that has been a key to success. Talk about that a little bit from a personal standpoint as well, because I think a lot of times, especially people like me who like to do a lot of things, sometimes focus can get diluted, as you mentioned. Talk about the power of focus personally, but also for your business.
Yeah, that's a good topic. I've noticed, for myself, and I think it's true for most of us, when we are focused on one thing and we put everything into it that we've got, blood, sweat, tears, the focus, great success happens, or the odds of great success dramatically rise. I've done that in my personal life. I've done it in business and with my work life. And I have tried diluting and doing other things. And I've noticed every time I kind of branch out, it gets, it's not getting the attention that I want to give it. It's still, on the business side, things are still going well. I've got a great team. They take care of it. But I'm very careful about where I put my focus. And I make sure I'm very purposeful about where I'm going to put my time and attention, because freight tech is everything to me. It's my whole life. That and my family are my whole life.
Yeah.
And
yeah.
I just know for me, that's where it has to be. I just have to have that focus. I have to put it in there. Things won't go as well for me. And even in the other endeavors that I'm pursuing won't work out as well for me if I'm doing like 2, 3, 4 and trying to balance them out equally. I need to do my number one thing, big time, all in. And then maybe I can add a second thing on the side a little bit and be careful about it.
I think it's a real issue because multitasking is kind of the buzzword now. Are you a good multitasker? But when you multitask, you obviously have kind of split focuses in terms of what you're doing, and it makes it really, really difficult to be really good at one thing. I'm a physics guy. I'm a science nerd, and so I always like to think of light. I always told students that if you take light and just put it in a room, a light bulb in a room, it'll light up the room, but it won't do a whole lot. But if you take that same light and you focus it into a laser and cut through steel, there's a significant difference just by the focus. That's the only difference in the intensity. So I love that concept. And I think that's, just really good to remember individually, but also as a company. I love that you guys do that. That's awesome. Oh yeah, you're taking a drink of water. I'll keep talking.
Just a quick step. Thank you. I appreciate it. Anyway, that was a long answer to your question, but that is it. We just feel like if we focus on the agents and what they need, they'll be their best and we'll be our best. And those partnerships and those relationships working together, they're everything.
Plus, I can imagine that the agents never, for you guys, have to worry about home office or headquarters ever messing with their business, because you don't have an internal business. It's all agent business. And so that's got to be a difficult balance for the ones that do go the hybrid model. But for you guys, you don't have to worry about that at all. You can just focus on supporting your agents.
Yeah. A lot of our agents really like that about us. They've been in places where, they have other divisions in the company, maybe that internal brokerage that is going to compete against them. They've had some bad experiences that have hurt them, financially, personally, whatnot. So the fact that we don't do that, and that is a real differentiator for Freight Tech. When they come here, it's safe. Not only is it safe because of the way we're structured, it's also safe because we put it in writing. So they're 100% safe and protected.
Yeah, that's awesome. And it's the original work from home environment. Because agents have always worked from home or had their own little office or whatever. So when COVID hit, probably didn't impact you guys as much as maybe some of the other companies out there.
It really didn't. We were built for it. So we knew we had all the systems and ability, and a large amount of the people within the organization already did work remote. So it probably affected our headquarters most, because we all were in an office together. So we started working from home, but the agents were already doing that.
Yeah. So. And I've been to the office there in Bountiful. Beautiful place. Great team that you got working there. So it probably was weird to not be together as much as always, but we all got past that, which was great, of course. So that's good.
Yeah.
All right. Well, hey, listen, I got to bring this up. So I happened to run across a picture of you with Larry Legend, with Larry Bird, back in the day.
Yes.
Long ago. Little Steve Van Otten here, back in the day. And in the picture, you weren't exactly smiling. What's that all about? Please tell me what that was all about.
Okay, so this goes way back. We're talking about 1983, 1984. I'm about 11 or 12 years old. There's the Jeff Judkins basketball camp. Jeff Judkins and Danny Vrains. Okay, so those were two basketball players that played at the University of Utah. Jeff Judkins got drafted by the Celtics about either the same year as Larry Bird or like maybe the next year. So they were friends. They were both playing, basketball in the NBA, both on the Celtics. So they held this basketball camp. Thankfully, I got to attend it. And the crowning event of the camp was a live visit from Larry Bird. He's already been playing in the NBA for 5 years. Everybody knows who he is. He's already.
Did he won a championship yet? I mean, I think at that point he did win one pretty early in his career, but I don't know.
I don't know if he had won a championship yet or not, but I do remember it was a big deal. Everyone was really excited. We had to go get in line, take our turn. You'd walk up kind of to the top of the key to the free throw line. You'd talk to Larry. You could shoot a few shots with Larry, and then you would pose with all three of the guys, with Larry Bird right there in the center. So we were shooting some shots, and I don't remember exactly what he said, but he basically he dissed me a little bit. And I know you know this, but Larry Bird is famous for being probably the biggest trash talker.
He is. This is true. He is.
And he didn't hold back even on 11-year-old me. So he kind of let me know. He wasn't cruel. He wasn't, but I think I can kind of just remember him laughing and smirking a little bit and saying something like about my shot, because it was a bad shot I missed. But and then we had to turn around and pose for the picture, and I'm just kind of like, thanks, Larry. I mean, come on.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm 11 years old, so.
That is so funny. All right, so just for people who might want to know, what is this picture? Here's where it is, everybody. This is the picture. We got it. And look, you're right in front of Larry, and you're like, this guy's terrible. I hate this guy. He's a jerk.
I'm like, come on, Larry.
Oh, it was so funny. Such a great picture. Look how tall they are, too. Jeez, it's crazy. Because you're not a short guy yourself. I know this is when you're younger, but still, like, they were so tall. But he's like 6'9". Yeah, so famous. You need to send that off to Larry and get him to sign it before it's too late, my friend. I think that's what you should do.
You're right. I should do that. It's a great idea.
That would be epic, and then you could tell that story forever. So Sean says his first championship was 81. So when did this picture take? You think 84? So he was already a.
I think it was 83, 84. So yeah, so he was that big already. Yeah.
Man, what a
NBA
great picture.
champion.
Yeah, that's hilarious. Oh my gosh, I bet you probably wish you could have gone back and maybe done it differently, but it is what it is. So
Well,
that's the picture. That's the story.
Yeah, you're 11, you're 12 years old, you're in line, they're shuffling you through. You shoot a few shots, Larry smirks, laughs at you a little bit, says something, and turn around and take a picture.
Larry Bird laughing at 11-year-olds. That's Larry Bird for you. That's what we got, everybody. Oh, that's hilarious. Well, speaking of celebrities, speaking of athletes, you and I have had a little fun banter over the years. You are a Tom Brady fan. You used to be a New England Patriots fan. I don't think you're a Patriots fan. You're a Brady fan. Is that right? Or where would you put your loyalties?
So I still love the Patriots. I root for the Patriots, but I do love Tom Brady. And Tom Brady is the GOAT, and he's the best, and he's amazing. I root for him as an individual wherever he's playing, but I still root for the Patriots.
So you haven't bought a Tom Brady Buccaneers jersey yet? Is that what you're telling me?
I have not. No,
are you going to?
No, I'm not going to buy that.
Not going to do
No. I only own 2 NFL jerseys from 2 players who I just think are phenomenal, who I just, they're the best. One is the Tom Brady New England jersey. The one is the Patrick Mahomes Chiefs jersey.
Thank you. That's right. That is the right answer. That is absolutely correct. We do cheer for the 2 best quarterbacks. I'm going to say of all time, even though Patrick hasn't quite earned it yet, he's getting there. I'm going to speak that into existence, but Tom Brady, certainly. Oh my gosh. That, guys. So we've had some good fun banter about this, especially when the Chiefs and the Patriots are playing. Of course, the Buccaneers, Tom Brady beat Patrick Mahomes in the Super Bowl. That was terrible for us, but that's okay. At least it was the GOAT. Could have been worse. But we've had this fascination you and I have with excellence, with watching excellence. I think that's where it stems from. Talk a little bit about how you became a Tom Brady fan and why you love watching that guy.
So I remember I was watching the Patriots. I liked him way back when. At the time, Drew Bledsoe was the quarterback. I watched him through college because he played at Washington State. He was a great quarterback.
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
I saw the game live when Drew Bledsoe got injured, went out. They brought in this kind of rookie kid we had named Tom Brady. All hope was kind of lost in the moment because we're like, oh, great, our awesome starter is gone. And he was a good starter.
Yeah. And the Patriots had a good defense, had a good team at that point. It wasn't like they were a bad team.
All of it was good. Tom Brady comes in, starts playing, and he's amazing. He's immediately amazing. He still had rookie mistakes. And he had some problems, but he was so good and so not like any other rookie quarterback I'd ever seen. And, eventually led him to a Super Bowl and, kind of 3. Yes. Kind of had 3 quick ones, win a span in the middle with not very much, and then 3 kind of more there at the end.
Yeah.
But I always loved watching him. I always thought he was a really cool guy, even off the field. I like players who do a lot of good things in the community and help people. And he does, a lot of charity work and a lot of good things to help people, and just good family guy. So I don't know. I just really liked him, liked his style, liked, that he could stay positive even in tough situations and tough times, and just look forward and just focus on the goal.
Yeah. Well, and I think it says a lot about all the players that were willing to come play for New England for maybe less money or lesser roles, but wanted to be around that environment. And we saw the same thing in Tampa Bay, people wanting to go and be a part of that team to maybe take a lesser role or take less money, but be a part of the environment. I think it says a lot to who Tom Brady really is. Is he a nice guy? I've never really been around him. He seems like a nice guy on the outside, right? But for some reason, people want to be around him. And I think that speaks volumes to him as a leader and him as a person. I think the same thing is true of Patrick Mahomes. I know you talked about the 3 quick championships, the 3 that came later. It's almost like Kobe Bryant's career. Like if you dissect their careers, they have 2 Hall of Fame careers, both of those guys. Kobe had 2 Hall of Fame careers. Tom Brady has 2 Hall of Fame careers. It's unbelievable the longevity of the excellence that they were able to achieve. And I think that's what, I'll be honest, Steve, I'm a fair weather fan. I want to watch great sports. And so, I want to watch whoever's playing really, really well. I'm a Chiefs fan, of course, because where I'm from. And now we actually have a reason to root for them. But I also like watching excellence. I want to see people who are the best of the best, even if they're on the other team. And so, to me, there's just a draw to that. And I think it helps me focus on being excellent as well. What have you taken away, like personally, from being a Tom Brady fan and watching him over the years?
I think there are things that I try to take away from it. And I think some of those would be when you do go through tough times in your life, whether it is personal or it is business or it's, in any facet of life, we all kind of have that choice. We can kind of get down in the doldrums. We can beat ourselves up. We can say, why me? Or we can say, you know what, this sucks, but I'm going to rise up and I'm going to move on. I'm going to move forward and I'm going to do better and I'm going to become better and I'm going to learn from this. And it's so much more productive to, take option B. Try to be better, try to learn, try to find the positives, learn the lessons. It hurts. Yeah, it's tough, but it's okay because that is life. We are all going to go through our tough times. So I think I kind of take that away from watching him over the years. He's done the same thing. I think it's been a good example. I've tried to do the same thing.
Yeah, no, there's so much that you can't take away from him. I think for him, I take away he never really gets too emotionally high. I mean, I guess in a Super Bowl win, he gets pretty high. That's that's and
That's
you
it.
can. But
Yeah.
outside of that, he never gets too emotionally high or low on good and bad. And I think the other thing that I love about guys like Tom Brady is that he's always willing to give the credit away and take the blame. And to me, that's the mark of a true leader as well. Somebody who, when things are really good, they point to the other people who made it possible. And when things are bad, they look internally and say, I got to do better. I'll do a better job. And, I think he's done that consistently throughout his career as well. And to me, like as a leader, those things are really, really important, not getting too high or too low, because you go through great wins, then you go through losses and you're like, man, this is terrible, but how can I stay emotionally level? And then how can I make sure that my team gets the credit when we succeed and that I take the blame when we don't? Those are hard things to do. That's opposite of the natural thing that we want to do, which is take credit when things are good and pass the buck when things are not good. And he's done that consistently for so long. That's what I love to take away from watching him.
Yeah. Yeah. It's very well said. That's exactly right. I agree with you 100%.
So we have to ask the question, who's going to finish higher this year at the end of the season? Are we going to see Tom Brady either win a Super Bowl or get there or further in the playoffs? Or do you think Patrick Mahomes going a little further, maybe win another Super Bowl? What are your thoughts? What's your take right now? I know you're an objective guy, even though you got a little bit of bias, but you're a pretty objective, observer of football. And these two guys are both guys you like to watch. So what do you say?
I appreciate you saying that. That's very complimentary. And I really do try to be objective. And that being said, I do think Patrick Mahomes and the Chiefs are going to have a better year than Tom Brady and the Bucs. And I say that mostly because Tom Brady's life off the field is pretty chaotic right now. If you read the tabloids, and it's really tough stuff to deal with. Also, they've not looked too good, starting off in the first 4 games.
But it looked a lot like this in 2021, if I remember correctly. It looked very similar to this in 2020 into the 2021, Super Bowl win that they had a very similar start. I don't count Tom Brady out. I don't know.
Well, how do you ever bet against them? I mean,
no.
If he actually makes it to the Super Bowl, I'm not going to bet against him. But I do think it's going to be really tough. He's a very focused guy. His focus is definitely being diluted right now. If he's able to focus all on football, he's got a great chance to be in the Super Bowl, but he's not right now. And I don't know how he's going to handle all that stuff. So I think that's going to be the thing that kind of makes or breaks his performance. And that team is kind of hot and cold right now. You're right. Maybe they pull it off and they really turn it on strong here.
I mean,
but
I've seen it happen before, Steve.
I'd pick the Chiefs right now over the Bucs.
Yeah, they did look good the other night, and I will agree with you. I think they have more potential at this moment to do better. But there's a lot of football left. Injuries could occur. You just never know. So we'll see. Right. But not gonna bet against Tom Brady ever. That's just a rule of life now at this point. I don't think you ever should. So That's good.
Yeah.
All right. So, Steve, every day on the show, we talk about what national day it is. Do you know what national day it is today? It's actually a world day, not just a national day. It's a world day. Do you know what it is?
I do not know what it is.
Well, there's several, but the one we picked today is it is World College Radio Day. Did you ever get on the radio in college? Do you ever listen to any college radio out there? Do you have any idea what this world is like?
I do not actually. I can't say that I've listened to college radio or know what it's about.
It's great. It's amateur hour, first of all, because they're just people are learning and getting started. Sometimes it's really, really bad. Sometimes it's hilarious and funny. I actually got to be on the radio in college. That's where I got my start. I had a Saturday morning college show, Steve. And here's what I would do. I would play all the songs that the girls up in Ely liked. That was my whole plan. I just played their songs that I found out what they liked and hoped that one of them might. And actually, one of them became my wife. So it all worked out in the end. So that's kind of the path we went down there. I also broadcasted football and radio games on the air, and that was hilarious because we didn't know what we were doing. We were just doing what we thought was best. So it was fun. It was a good time. Yeah. So if you haven't listened to college radio, you should turn some on. It can be entertaining. I know that you're a radio guy. You've been on a radio show before.
I have. Yeah.
I know. You were a personality. You were the voice of reason on this crazy show you were on.
I was. You're right. I appreciate that. I was on a radio show. We took live calls on the air. There was about 5 or 6
Risky.
of us.
Love it.
Live calls on the air. It's fun. It's scary. And we gave relationship advice. So yeah.
Which I just have to say is hilarious. Like, I mean, you got a great relationship with your wife. I know that. But when you're like, I'm giving relationship advice, I'm like, that's interesting. The people on the show, that was such a dynamic. It was so much fun. We had to pull some of those out, some of those episodes.
It was as eclectic as a group as you could possibly have, with ranges of beliefs and styles from one end of the spectrum to the other. And it was so much fun. I met people that I otherwise would have never met, became good friends with them. We had so much fun doing that. Did that for probably about 1.5 years, once a week, live on the air. It was with Lexi and Banks, a local station here in Salt Lake City, and it was just so much fun.
That's awesome. I'm sure you've got clips from that. This should be somehow put on social media. This is like personal branding, my friend. This should go out, little clips of you giving advice and the banter going back and forth. That was really entertaining.
You're right. I should go find some of these. In the end, we were doing some of them as live Facebook broadcaster streams, and you're right. I should totally do that. That's a good idea, because it was a lot
Pull
of
them
fun.
out. We want to see them. Let's go. Get them out there. That'll be a lot of fun.
I'll see if I can find some just for you. Yeah.
I love it, man. I love it. So World College Radio Day, everybody. If you get a chance to turn on your local college radio station, enjoy that. Mine back in the day was 99.1 KWJC in Liberty, Kansas City. That was my call sign. That's how I had to end everything, which was a lot of fun. All right. Lastly, Steve, we have the random question of the day. So every day we have a random question. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. Yesterday's was not very good. Sometimes they're funny, sometimes they're serious, but we'll just see what it is here. Let's see. The random question of the day today is, have you ever traveled outside of the... Ooh, I know you like to travel. Have you been outside of the country?
Absolutely. Yeah.
Where have you been?
Oh, let's see. I've been mostly to tropical places. So I've been to most of the Caribbean islands, Mexico, Hawaii.
Hawaii's not out of the country. Come on.
Well, it's really far away over an ocean. I know it
is
really count, but it's really far to get there.
It is far away.
Yeah, and surprisingly, I haven't been to Europe yet, but I
haven't either.
Do that next summer. So next summer, it's Europe.
I haven't either. That's what I'm hoping to do. I want to go play golf in Scotland. That's my thing. I want to go do that. Maybe go drink some wine in Italy or Spain or something like that. Well, I don't drink wine. My wife does, but that would be fun. Those in the comments. Where have you guys been outside of the country? If you've been outside of the country, I've only been to Guatemala, Canada, and Colombia. Those are my only 3 out of the country that I've been to, but all great places. I've enjoyed all of them so far. So what else is on your bucket list? So you're going to Europe next year. Let's discount that one because you're going there next year. What else is on the old bucket list for travel for Steve Van Otten?
There's actually still a lot of countries in South America I'd like to go visit. I'd like to get over to Japan.
Yeah.
I'd like to. Oh, you know what? I forgot to say, I've also been to New Zealand and Australia. That was when I was a kid, but it was a long time ago. I'd like to go back to
Did you have pictures with frowns on your face on those as well? Is this a theme?
No, I think I smiled a little bit more on that.
Just a reminder for everybody. There it is, right there.
That's awesome. I love that. Yeah, but I think even like like Indonesia,
Yeah.
Singapore, that area of the world would be pretty cool.
Yeah.
A lot
I
of
would
cool
like to.
see.
I'd like to go. I definitely want to go to Asia. I want to see parts of Asia, Malaysia, Singapore, Japan. All those would be really
Those-
fascinating. There's something about the Asian culture. I don't know. I'm kind of attracted to it. I kind of like it. South Korea. My nephew lives in South Korea. Married a South Korean girl over there, and so I got to know a little bit about that culture as well. But going over that part of the world, I think would be pretty awesome as well. So that's definitely on the bucket list. But yeah, it's travels. I mean, it's amazing. It's like I think it's one of the best things that you can do. Some people, it's amazing. Some people like stay in one spot their whole life. Totally cool. That's up to them. I cannot. That doesn't work for me. Definitely
Yeah.
doesn't.
Yeah, I mean,
Doesn't
travel is
happen.
like one of the greatest things to do in life. I mean, you'll never learn so much as if
No.
you go travel.
So true. That is so true. So true. Well, hey, listen, Steve, it has been great having you on the show. 30 minutes is up. It always goes by so fast. Hope you'll come back and see us again soon. And congratulations on all the success that you guys have. Great. Awesome.
Thank you, Trey. Pleasure to be here. Thank you.
Everybody watch the show. Thank you so much for listening. Remember, it's Friday, so Finish Strong Friday. That also means that in just 1 hour, we've got episode 127 of The Word on the Street with our friend Mark Dirks from C.H. Robinson and our friend Cameron Robertson from 3PL Systems is coming by for a special announcement. You don't want to miss that. And then make sure you catch us on Monday. We got several things on Monday. We got Iron Minds at 6 a.m. We got Robert Bain right back here on Standing Out on Monday from Metaphor. He's got an announcement to make as well. We're looking for 200 people to show up for that show. We'll see what happens. So it's going to be a great weekend. Everybody out there have an awesome time. Steve, thanks again for being on the show. I really appreciate having you, man. We'll talk to you soon. See ya.
Thanks, Trey. My pleasure.